You ready to start?
Yeah, no, I'm ready. Go
All
ahead.
right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Sci-Fi Wise Guys. My name is Anthony,
And my name is Chris.
and I love the way you're like try to make it a mystery. Ooh, is it changed?
No,
Uh,
I
we
hadn't
are,
I hadn't done the delayed intro in a couple episodes, so I
yeah, I
figured out.
guess so. We are your ever platonic hosts of the premier independent B movie science fiction and science fiction adjacent review podcast. Welcome. How are you doing today, Chris?
I'm doing all right, but in order for me to tell you how my day went,
Mm.
I'm gonna need 2 strips of gold press platinum.
Oh, two?
2.
I actually don't like you that much. I do not care.
That's fair.
I'll tell you for free, Chris. I had a great day. Thank you
Yeah.
for asking. Yeah, I appreciate you asking. Like when you show an interest in me, it makes me feel like maybe we're more than just friends in the pod.
Oh, we are. We are.
And I think it makes the people think that we're friends. Yes,
Just platonic friends, though.
100%.
No romance.
The most platonic friends that have ever
Yeah.
existed.
Yeah. Despite pictures that may or may not exist of us in pools.
In pools, yeah, we're
Yeah,
just
yeah,
chilling
yeah.
in the pool, man. What's chilling in the pool with a couple of bros?
Couple of brews, couple of bros.
Some Mike's Hard Lemonade and a floating ice chest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then all your stuff gets appropriated by children and you get kicked out of the house.
Good times.
Good times.
Well, I'm glad, man. How was your day so well?
I didn't do anything.
Excellent.
I mean, I ran a few errands. I went to I ran a few errands. I went to lunch with a couple of work friends plus Josh.
Ah.
Yeah, you know how it is. Who also a close platonic friend of mine. Another one of our mutual friends. I don't want to. I'm not going to dox anybody, but the person who introduced us got engaged yesterday. So that was a thing.
Wait. The first. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that or not, but I'm
Nope.
telling you because
I don't-
they
don't-
posted it on the social. So
I don't think I've talked to that person in a long time. They moved away. Um. And just
nope, wrong person. The other person that introduced us.
there were 2 people there. What was it? So it wasn't at the other person's house, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, we're being as cryptic as possible.
Well, that's neat.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Good for them.
Yeah,
Congratulations, I guess.
absolutely. Now that we've like completely alienated everyone who doesn't know us personally, we're here once again in a live show to talk about Star Trek Lower Decks. We're over halfway through the season, Chris. It's going by quick.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I feel like it has.
I just want a little bit more. I don't know. I just want more lower decks.
Yeah. I'm tired of these 10 episode seasons. I just want to bump the numbers up a little bit, you know? Let's get a 15 episode season. Disney keeps pulling this look with their Marvel and Star Wars stuff. They're just like, "Hey, you want 6 episodes?" And I'm like, "No. I don't. Like if you're going to give me 6 episodes, give me a movie. Like just do it." Ahsoka just finished. It was 8 episodes. Loki just started. I actually don't know how many episodes that's supposed to be. Did you watch all of Ahsoka? I know you watched like the first half.
I guess this is the last episode I have not seen.
Okay.
The last episode that I remember, spoilers for anyone who cares about Star Wars, is they meet that guy,
They meet that guy.
and
Uh-huh.
then
Be
and
vaguer.
then and then the white haired girl leaves, like she
Mm-hmm.
runs away
Yes.
because Ahsoka reappears.
Okay.
So that's the last episode that I
They meet
watched.
that guy. Got it. No, I know
Ezra?
exactly what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
Ezra?
Ezra.
No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That guy. I just sorry. There were so many times they met a guy. Like I can think of like three named guys that they met, right?
So
Because they met Ezra, they met Thrawn ever so briefly. Well, did they? They didn't really.
Ahsoka has. I mean, I'm sure she's met him,
Oh,
but
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
but
yeah.
they
In
haven't.
the show, they
They
haven't been
haven't
in the
been
same
properly
room.
reintroduced. No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The little hermit crab people. Love the hermit crab people.
Eh.
It's the wrong star thing. So we also had the last very short trek this past week, which actually I think it might be my. I'm trying to decide whether or not it's as good as, or it's just not quite as good as the holograms all the way down episode. I really enjoyed this one. It's a musical number. I don't really want to get into a big review of it. Like these are 2 3 minute long things. They're animated. You should watch it.
I got your orgy scene right here.
And it mixes Lower Decks, TNG, and I guess the animated series, which I guess ties in TOS. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the music number. The music number was that felt very 70s to me.
Oh my!
Like to end with a music number. It's pretty good. I don't know why, because I've not seen all of the animated series, but for some reason it reminded me of Scooby Doo. Like like at some point in a Scooby Doo episode, they start running from the monster and it plays music like a music number. That's what it reminded me of, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed all of them. I like that they kind of explored whatever they were going to explore with them. Actually, I'm a little upset we only got a few weeks of them. I figured they would last a lot longer. How did you like the musical number?
Uh,
Okay, fair enough.
I
Understood. I got
that
it.
is that George Takei?
George Takai.
George, or whichever one. Excuse me, George, if you're listening. Was that him?
I thought so. Let's look it up. I'm looking up in real time here. Do 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 do.
But
Yeah,
no, I
yeah,
thought
that was George Takei.
I thought it was great.
Takai. I don't remember how it's supposed to be. Said.
I thought it was a great song. Like just the whole Riker just with that freaking trombone. He's just everywhere with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Side note, back in the day, if you were losing your vision, like as you get older, sometimes some people, they start to lose their ability to see things
Sure.
close up.
Sure.
So they said that they
As
used to
says the
call,
one bespeckled man to the other bespeckled man.
well, I've always had terrible vision, so
Yeah,
it might get worse. Who knows? But they would call it playing trombone, as they would like
try to like
push the
find
the piece of paper farther away from their face, because it kind of does look like you're playing trombone. Interesting.
No, that makes sense.
Interesting.
Makes
tidbit.
sense. It's real. What's really interesting about my favorite part of it is the very short trek, is the positivity in the YouTube comments, and then because I found I saw that they released it because I was on Twitter doing whatever, or X or Z, whatever they're calling it now, and all of the comments were so negative. They were just demoralizingly negative. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch it. I watched it. I loved it. And the YouTube comments are super nice. It's a weird time we live in. I'm not used to having non-toxic YouTube comments. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know.
So I'm sorry. So the comments on Twitter were super negative, but the comments
super
on
negative.
YouTube,
Yeah, and the YouTube
YouTube
was
were very
positive.
positive.
Everything's just topsy turvy. My whole world, left and right, and white as a dog, and cats, and it's raining. The whole bit. The whole bit.
This didn't break the fourth wall. It demolished it.
Now you're just reading YouTube comments.
Rich.
Fantastic.
Great.
Well, let's get to the main course, as it were, with Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4, Episode 6, Parth Ferengi's Heart Place. The Cerritos visits the Ferengi homeworld. Sitting at a 7.9 out of 10 on IMDb with 142 ratings as of the time of this recording. That is, I mean, they're killing it with the blurbs, absolutely killing it. We're gonna get, because it's just the most basic of premises. This is what you want for a 20-minute television episode. Is you don't want really anything beyond that because it's all spoilers after the premise, right?
These blurbs are like whenever we start out doing, like when we finalize the episode, we come up with the title, we do the description. Like what I normally do is I just open up a Google Doc and I just type out the premise of the show in the most simplest of forms or the movie.
Sure.
And then I just try to church it up. And, and I'm pretty sure that it might have been like my plan for this one was that the Cerritos crew visits for Ferengar.
Yeah. I don't know what else you would do.
Yeah.
If
So-
we compare it real quickly, the ratings, see how they've changed, how they've evolved. Episode 1, Tuvix 8.2, still coming in strong. I Have No Bones Yet I Must Flee 7.9. In the Cradle of Vexilon 7.4. And if we scroll down here, Something Borrowed, Something Green 7.8. And Empathological Fallacies 7.7. And Parth Ferengi's Heart Place 7.9. So I expect that to settle down a little lower, but right on par with the last few episodes. I have to admit, Chris, I watched this twice. I watched it Thursday when it aired, and I watched it just a little bit, like an hour ago maybe. I started it. I liked it way more the second time. The first time through, I was just kind of like waiting for stuff to happen. I guess I don't know what I was expecting to happen because stuff does happen. It does have a plot. I was a little bothered by. I'm sorry. I'm jumping in and giving my opinions
go ahead.
and whatnot. I'm breaking the format, and instead
It's
of
your show.
introducing you, I'm just doing it. It's your show. I'm just taking it over. With Mariner expressing and working through her feelings through violence. Okay. Rom, like I called that Rom was being deliberately obtuse pretty early in that what would you call that? Negotiation. And so I was like, okay, this is what's going to happen with this. We're moving forward here. Tindy and Rutherford, I'm so glad they didn't like discover they have feelings for each other. I'm just so happy that it ended the way it did with their awkward platonic relationship. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Miglimo making more food regurgitation jokes. I will always laugh at those. That is amazing.
This doesn't even taste like it's been in my mother's mouth.
You don't have to regurgitate in my mouth twice. Oh, he's fantastic. Fantastic. So like the first time through, I think it just wasn't quite hitting for me. And I would have probably rated it a little lower. Second watch, it's funny. I didn't catch on the first time through. If we can pull up a picture of Boimler's television here. Yeah, just him watching TV. That is,
There's just an eye.
it's the CBS logo.
Hmm.
And you could see it maybe better if some of the pictures that pull it out, but it's the CBS logo. It even has a little circle in the middle for a pupil that he pushes to turn it on. The view screen works. And if we click over to a picture of like him watching the television, from the point of view of the TV, we'll see that right above him is the Paramount logo. Like when he makes the joke, oh, they even put the commercials in the television in the show. It's like mind control, and the Paramount logo
Oh,
twinkles above his
yeah,
head.
I see it. Yeah,
It's really really
it's
like
pretty cool.
it's a little on the nose, but I enjoy it. It's like they're making fun of modern television while acknowledging that they are modern television. I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, that's the best shot I
I
think
f-
of
I
the
f-
of it there.
109 image 109 producer.
Image 109. Are the images? There's 109 images of this.
There's 369.
There's 369 images of this.
Yes,
That is nuts. Um, so Boimler's bit,
to the
him
left.
getting
There it is.
whipped. Oh, there you go. There you go. We got the eye and the Paramount logo in his hotel room that he doesn't leave. I watched TV for 8 hours, or I watched Ferengi programming for 8 hours. It's really really funny. I like that they brought back the Ferengi whip at the very end and use it on Boimler. Just go limp, don't resist, you'll be fine. I still think, hopefully in the next episode or two, depending on what characters we focus on, Mariner can figure her stuff out. I think the worst way this season could end for me is with Mariner being demoted. Like in all honesty, if she just doesn't progress and goes backwards, even temporarily, I think that might be too much. Just a bit too much. But those
Okay.
are my thoughts. I thought it was actually a lot of fun. Um, did you catch when they go to the Star Trek experience slash the Starfleet experience bar or restaurant, the slow the slow version of the TNG or motion picture theme song being played in the
No,
background?
I guess I did not hear it. No.
Yeah, it's like the music in the restaurant, and it's
Hmm.
like a rendition of the theme song. Yeah, Quark's Federation Experience Bar and Grill.
The only thing that I'll just tell you the one thing I really didn't like about this episode,
Yeah.
right up front.
Mm-hmm.
Armin Shimmerman was not in it.
Mm.
That's my only real negative thought. I actually, maybe I think in like the first season of this show, we talked about it a little bit. I mentioned Tindy and Rutherford and how I just wasn't sure how that relationship was going to go because I feel like the cheapest way to have an episode or drama or whatever is to make two of these characters like the two of the four main characters have a relationship like
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
strictly not platonic.
Yep.
And I was worried about that. I'm glad that it finally took them 4 seasons to address it, but they finally decided to actually do so. So
Well,
that's cool.
they addressed it also with Boimler and Mariner early on, where they're just like disgusted with the idea of being anything but friends. That's
Yeah,
nice.
but they really did like there wasn't any tension, right?
Right.
Like it was immediate. They're like, no, we're not together. We're just friends. Like this, like both Tindy and Rutherford had to actually like come to grips with the fact that like neither of them see each other in any romantic way, and that like we
Yeah.
actually get to see it. Like maybe Boimler and Beckett had already had that, and we just didn't see it because it was off screen or whatever. But
Sure.
yeah, look at that smile. Look at that great smile. I've had that smile.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw it at your wedding.
yeah, that's right.
When I
Which one? No, just this the singular one. No, I'm cool with with getting to see Mariner explore her issues like with violence. I know you said that you're kind of over it. Um, I I really like. I think she's gonna get promoted beyond lieutenant junior grade by the end of this season.
Oh, is that your prediction?
Yeah, like because she has the most. She has the most experience. I think out of any of them.
Oh yeah.
Um, I think Tindy's relatively fresh faced out of the academy. Compared to the rest of them. I mean, Rutherford is quite an experienced space person.
Yeah.
He's just, I don't know how long he's been a Federation officer. And same thing with Boimler, I don't know. But I just feel like
Experience.
Beckett has the most
Experience.
tenure.
Yeah, tenure is a good
Um,
word for it.
So I feel like she's going to get promoted past Lieutenant JG. Lieutenant's junior
Lieutenants,
grade? Lieutenant
juniors
junior's
grades.
grade?
I think it's
Uh,
just lieutenants
yeah.
actually, but you know, whatever.
Well, I think the proper term would be lieutenant's
Junior
junior
grade.
grade. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think you had it right the first time. Um,
it's still funny.
oh no, it's great. Yeah. Rom. I actually just recently rewatched. You can see it on YouTube where someone takes all of the Ferengi rules of acquisitions
Oh yeah,
and like just cuts it into one
super
like
cuts it. Yeah,
9 minute long video. And there's that one um, with Nog and Cisco where he's talking to him and he's like, my father is a mechanical genius, but he doesn't have the lobes for business. And then Cisco recites the rule, which I don't remember what it is, but a Ferengi with no profit is no Ferengi at all. Like, and I'm not, I haven't seen all of DS9. I'm slowly working through it, but just seeing him as Grand Nagus with a Bajoran lady friend, his special lady friend,
yeah, his
um,
wife.
it's probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like, 'cause I had no idea.
Mm,
Like, I had a big compendium once, like the big Star Trek compendium, and I
yeah,
would flip through it and I would see stuff that I wasn't familiar with, and I was like, "Oh, cool, turn the page because I don't want to know about it." But just him being Grand Nagus is comically funny.
you know who
Uh,
else? You know who didn't find it funny that he became Grand Nagus?
I'm gonna sue. I don't know his. I don't want to say his name out loud, but I'm sure his initials rhyme with Quark. Uh,
Yeah,
considering he was Grand Nagus once, and he was only
very
for
briefly.
like a
Yeah,
week and a half. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Long
Um,
enough to ruin all of it. Uh, yeah,
but
yeah. I have to keep reminding myself you haven't seen all of Deep Space Nine.
that's all right.
Rom is fantastic. You talk about Armin Shimmerman not being in this episode. Of course, we've had him in a previous episode, and it kind of makes sense. He could be anywhere running his
Yeah.
empire. Apparently, he's still around Deep Space Nine. The Nog not getting referenced. And obviously, Nog, we wouldn't see him, and obviously we wouldn't
Yeah,
hear him.
I know what happens. Yeah,
Um,
but
but just having him, the fact that he wasn't name dropped. Oh, sorry, we couldn't bring Nog back from wherever he is, or hey, here's a message from your son. He's off doing whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Would have been really really cool. Um, that was yeah, but it is what it is. I would love like out of all of the Nog would be the hardest to bring back just because you'd have to recast him. Um, but I would love to see more Nog for sure.
Uh, can we
Not
get a
that you know.
shot?
I guess you don't know. Nog joins the Federation.
No, I've already
Joins
seen that.
Starfleet. Oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah,
know
I'm
how
going
far
through
you
the.
got.
He
I'm
just
spoiling it for you.
he just got accepted
Um,
to the academy. Um, Producer, if you could go to image 34.
Is this image 34 right here with
No.
the? It's a better image with the Sluggo Ferengi ear helmet. I want this real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Ong Ma?
What is Ongma?
It's when they massage the ears, right?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if giving or receiving, what type of question are you trying to ask me right now?
I don't know. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. No, Umak. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah. But
Umak.
this I'm trying to come up with a title for this, but I think that's a Ferengi Cartery board.
Frank Carter report in the shape of a Starfleet vessel.
Yeah, with
I like the little chips shaped like deltas.
yeah, the Delta crackers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Do you think they do this for the Klingons and it's just like a bucket
Of
of
live
gach?
gach. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't it be?
Oh man, I love that episode. Riker's just trying all the different foods, and it's like it's like so early '80s, or I'm sorry, late '80s, like tech, and
Mhm.
it's just like cool. Let's just get the nastiest looking shrimp tail we can get.
Yeah, yeah.
Keg stands with blood wine. I bought a coworker once for Christmas, the blood wine cup,
Oh.
like, and it actually had the recipe to make blood wine.
Blood wine.
Yeah.
That's
So
hilarious.
he still has the cup. I don't know if
I
he ever
just
made the blood
like
wine.
it's so
Is that,
unsanitary.
is that a guacamole bowl?
Of course,
Rad.
they're from California. uh, well, no, because they have the cup, and then they dip the cup in the giant thing of blood wine, and everyone's dipping their hands in it. I'm just saying.
But they're Klingons. They got two immune systems, right?
Yeah, they got multiple immune systems or whatever, depending on the organ.
Yeah.
Like, how crazy is it that evolution is like, you're going to need 3 of these things because you guys will just not stop dying.
Like to reference another sci-fi franchise in Mass Effect, when you run into the Krogan and I remember reading the codex for them and it talks about how they have multiple redundant organs. I was like, oh, Krogan, Klingon, I get
They're
it.
Klingon, 100%. They're Klingon.
It's right there.
It's just,
A little close there, BioWare. Just a little. It's right there.
there's nothing you can do to convince me they're not Klingons. I mean, does Michael Dorn not voice one of them?
He does,
Yeah.
and I kill him
Do you
every
really?
time. Every time I see him, I kill him in that game.
Nice.
I headbutt him first.
Of course.
And then I
You got to
kill
gain
him,
his
yeah.
respect with the
Yeah.
headbutt. Yeah, it's fantastic. So, how would you rate this episode for this season here?
I feel like we didn't really talk like we didn't really discuss the Ace story, just
Not really.
with Rom, but
Yeah.
it's rare when the captain is the smartest person in the room. Like this guy, this admiral whose name I don't even remember, gets blinded by the bling. Right?
Mhm.
They give him a gold bust of himself, and they charge him for it, which A plus.
So good.
The and then she's like, "Nah, dude, he's trying to con you," and he's like, "It doesn't matter. I know exactly what we need to do. We need to just plow through it. Whatever we got to do to get it done." And he just he's a sucker. It's not even a good like he just. I don't even trust the bridge of his nose, the way his eyes bug out in this bust. I don't like it.
I did like the fake out at the end where it looked like she was about to put his bust on a pedestal. Then she drops it, and it's actually a trash can.
No.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
No, great episode. If I were to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably say it's a. I think it's a. I don't. It's not a 7. It's not a 7.9. I think it's probably like a. 8.2, 8.3. It's getting there. It's just not
Yeah.
a 7.
It's not the worst episode this season. It's not the best. We've had a really solid season. I do like that we actually had competent upper deckers in this episode. It's nice to have an episode every once in a while you're like, oh yeah, they are a captain and a commander for a reason.
Did you notice that multiple generations of uniforms were shown in the restaurant? I thought that was really neat.
Yeah. It's an experience, man.
There weren't any of like the red velour ones.
No, there was a velour one. I don't know if it was red because she mentions the old ones the velour ones that used to catch on fire.
I didn't see one.
She pointed. I don't know if she she didn't show it. She just said, but
Because those are my favorite uniforms.
what the maroon
Yeah,
the maroon monster, is that what it's called? I can't.
yeah,
if I recall.
the ones that were apparently so difficult to wear.
I mean, they look difficult to wear in universe. I could only imagine what it was like for the actors.
I think they're great, but like even because the Ferengi, I guess they're. It's not because he's not the waiter. I think he's just the maitre d' or whatever.
Yeah, the
he's
host or
wearing
something,
the one from the motion picture from TMP with the straight up flared out collar. No, not him. It's image 239. It's a couple down, a couple over. To the right, producer. Down. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Gosh, the motion picture uniforms are literally the worst uniforms.
We should review TMP.
Ooh.
Um,
I mean,
well, but what we should do is we should actually just watch 2001: A Space Odyssey,
and then
and then
2010,
and then be like, oh yeah, so we're gonna talk about the Star Trek the motion picture, and just talk about
then just talk
Space
about,
Odyssey. Yeah.
yeah, that could
So
work.
no, great episode. Like I said, I really enjoyed Tindy and Rutherford's relationship in this.
Yeah.
Because you get to really explore like that part, because they're like, it's so easy and it's so cheap and simple to be like, okay, well, we have an idea for an episode, or we need an idea for the episode. We're just going to say these characters have a relationship. Like,
Yeah.
like Friends did it for years. Like whenever they needed to extend a season, they'd be like, you know what? Now Joey is in love with Rachel, or like in Saved by the Bell. Like,
Mhm.
well, now Zach is going to hang out with Lisa, or he's going to hang out with Screech, or whatever his name is.
I mean, I think that's just sitcoms. Like
Yeah,
most, not all, but most sitcoms end up being some form of romantic comedy in there at some
yeah.
point,
I
right?
think like How I Met Your Mother is a great example. Like that weird. I haven't seen enough
Mhm.
episodes, but I know they pivot like halfway through the series, or maybe it's even later, where it's like now Barney and Robin are going to be a couple for a long time.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not. I wouldn't call it a pivot, but there's a definite gap. But yeah,
yeah,
it definitely does that.
no,
Um, that's the it's a great example of a show that was really good. It had a premise that had a definitive ending, and then they went for a couple seasons too long and kind of shot themselves in the foot. Uh, Unlike like Friends or Big Bang Theory, or like you mentioned, like older sitcoms, whether it's you just mentioned Saved by the Bell or any of like the TGIF stuff, where it's just a premise and then you move forward. How I Met Your Mother had a point, a plot going forward, and it just they lost sight of it at some point. Anyway, this is not a How I Met Your Mother review podcast. If you'd like to see us review How I Met Your Mother, or if you just have something we should watch, some sort of independent or B movie, straight to DVD or stream style science fiction movie or television show, or fantasy or horror or whatever, you can let us know via email, sci-fi wiseguys@gmail.com. We appreciate the suggestions. Did you have an idiot of the episode, Chris?
um, I mean, I think the answer is clearly the Admiral.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's
He
probably
was
going away the winner.
like,
Um,
he was going to give away the Ferengi can use any Federation ship
yeah,
for any time, whether or not they joined the Federation or not. And it's like,
yeah.
okay, are
But
y'all listening?
but I do have to give a special shout out to Rom, because he had him. He had him over a barrel, right?
Yeah.
He was like, "Cool, I'll sign the paperwork," and then it's like, "Oh, by the way, you have to like, you didn't read the fine print."
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
just like, so I like like just dropped the ball at the 1 yard line. But I would have liked to have seen them try to recruit the
The
Klingons into
Klingons.
the Federation. I think it might have. They probably would have been able to work it out. I don't know. They might have
I
figured out a
mean,
way to do
at a
it.
certain point, I mean, I don't know if the Klingons have to. It's such a weird, to me, and the longer Star Trek goes, the weirder it is that the Klingons, and to slightly lesser extent the Romulans, like exist as their own independent states. Like, like you have the Federation, which is a conglomerate, right? You start with four member races, and now there's several other member, like literally over 100 different member races, and their combined military might and
Hmm.
everything,
Hmm.
right? Plus whatever strong allies they have, and then you have the opposition, except for maybe the Dominion. The opposition is almost always the Klingons, the Romulans, the Cardassians. It's always like a singular group of people, and like how do they have enough people and resources to come up against? Like at a certain point, the Federation just gets too big for the Klingons to be a threat, if
Yeah.
that makes
Well,
sense.
I mean, space is very big.
It is.
Like,
It is.
not to be reductive, but space is massive. Like
That's
I went
third
to
week in
a,
a row you've said that, maybe.
I went to I went to an improv show and they the theme of it is science fiction, and they were like, we're exploring the what, and I'm like, I'm sitting behind the bar shouting Gamma Quadrant. Like I'm just shouting it out like, and the host is not listening to me anymore because I've given so many great ideas that they've implemented in the improv show that he just
Great
listens to
ideas.
some
Got it.
random person say bottom left. So they explore the bottom left quadrant. Um, and then I
I
had to
mean, it's,
correct I had to correct them. I was like, because there was a coup, and I was like, if it's on a ship, it's a mutiny technically. I just want to point that out. But
technically.
I think the main difference is that the Klingons have no interest in being explorers or I don't want to use the term
They
diplomats,
they used to, but yeah,
but like they have no interest in being like politicians in the sense like the Federation had like, hey, if you join us, you get a seat in the
at the table.
Senate,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so I get like the Klingons probably have planets within their empire that like they don't really like they rule them, but it's more like, hey, we show up once a year and you give us
mm,
all this stuff, and if you don't, we bomb you from orbit.
sure.
And the Romulans probably do the
Oh, do the
same
same thing.
thing.
I mean, the Romulans enslave people who live in the species from the same system as them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And
that's why I
so
said to a slightly lesser extent. Yeah,
like I think that's what it is that like there's Klingons like there's probably so many of them because they're so dispersed.
sure,
Like, but probably like much like the Roman Empire, because I think that's kind of what Klingons are maybe not necessarily based on, but maybe inspired by a little bit. But like the Romans, like the true Romans or whatever that lived in Rome would just suck up the resources from everyone else. And
sure,
so
sure.
they have all these ships, you know, they had like because I think they even like a bird of prey only has a crew of like 14 people.
Yeah, it's very very small
And
crew.
so
Yeah,
like and it takes on ships larger than it all the
sure,
time and
that's
probably
true.
comes out victorious because like there's no infrastructure. So what they do is they just lower your shields, beam aboard your ship, and try to they board you and try to kill you as quick as they can.
Yeah, I mean
I,
that all makes sense to where they are, I guess, at this point. But eventually, they're going to be like the Federation is going to be large enough if it grows properly to where
yeah.
there's nothing they can really do about it. I don't know.
Well,
It's just always bothered me that they don't come up against alliances that often. You know what I mean? Like they don't come up against another federation, so to speak,
yeah.
whether or not they have the same ideals or not. But I think it would be more interesting if the Klingons had other species on their ships and
Well,
things like that. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe the
didn't
Klingons are a bad example because of who they are, but the Romulan ships are huge and have other
yeah.
people. But they're also have a superiority complex. Like all of them have a superiority complex.
And then when Worf first came aboard DS9, like and
Hmm.
they go through all that crap with the Klingons attacking them or whatever, the Battle of Tirok Nor or whatever, or the first one at least. He says he's gonna resign his commission and go join a something alliance freighter.
Right.
And so I think there are other alliances. Is
Alliance Psi.
whatever.
Hmm.
I think that like the problem is that they're just so small, or they're just so out of the way that we don't really know about them. Because I mean, like, how many times do we come across in Star Trek in universe like, oh, this is the blah 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 empire spanned the entire galaxy, and now they're extinct
Sure.
or whatever. Like that's when we first meet the Ferengi
Yeah.
on where in
Yeah.
Anybody Canyon. Um, so
With
like
their cool whips.
they are cool.
They're pretty
Uh,
cool.
but no, I think that's just what it is. We just there's so many of them, and space is just so large. Like, because uh, I mean, I've looked at the Star Trek galaxy map before,
Yeah. I
and
don't know
like
if there's an
the
official one, but
yeah,
it's
but
ever evolving. Yeah.
like where the Federation sits, like on Terra, Earth, or whatever. Like it's a really small part of the Alpha Quadrant.
Oh yeah.
So, like, I think that's just what it is. Like, There are, we just haven't seen them or met them or visited
Sure.
them yet. It's just that the big baddies, the big kahunas are the ones that we deal with.
Sure.
So
I mean, and we have to keep they keep attacking us. I say us. They keep attacking Starfleet, and Starfleet keeps knocking them down. It just keeps
yeah.
happening. Eventually, they're gonna have to give up. Fun episode. Sorry for going off on Star Trek lore. I guess if you want us to become a Star Trek lore podcast, let us know. You can hit us up via the email already mentioned, sci-fi-wiseguys@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on the social media. We're on all of the social medias except for the Facebook. And I guess Mastodon. I forgot Mastodon exists. I don't think we're going to be joining
What's
Mastodon.
that?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Chris. You can, our DMs are always open, or you can just, add us on whatever platform. I agree with you, by the way. I don't know if it was obvious. I agree with you. The Admiral's obviously the idiot. Yeah, there you go. And second place being Mariner for going into debt to fix her problems.
Eh,
Never a good idea. Never
yeah.
a good idea. Doesn't understand capitalism for sure.
Stay healthy, stay hydrated, and just remember, a contract is a contract is a contract, but only between Ferengi.
Bye, guys. That was really good.